We'll see you then. Tonight, we are still waiting to learn the identity of the canoer whose body was pulled from the Rock River in Janesville. This was near the Milwaukee Street Bridge. Emergency crews were called to the river last night. 2 people were already on the riverbank, but a 3rd person was missing. A diver found that person's body. The first responders at that call yesterday are now re-emphasizing the importance of water safety should you find yourself in a similar situation. Tonight at 10, Grace Alch has you covered on how to track water conditions and what you can do to help while making sure you stay safe.
The number one thing is to know your capabilities and then your craft's capabilities.
Just before 5 o'clock Sunday night, Janesville Police and Fire were dispatched to the Milwaukee Street Bridge in downtown Janesville for a water rescue for a capsized canoe. Lieutenant Jack Morse with Janesville Fire says the patch of river they were dispatched to is notoriously dangerous.
It is just downstream from an overhead dam, and it is a portion of the river that is slightly narrower. That particular area is dangerous most of the time, if not all the time, even more so this last week.
Morse says the increased rainfall we've seen over the last week made conditions on the river worse.
With the recent rainfalls, we had an uptick in the current, so the river acts completely different than it does in a normal setting. Know the situation, know what you're doing.
Morse says the best indication of water conditions are going to be recent weather patterns, so pay extra attention to the forecast before heading out on the water.
If you don't have to go out on the river, if you don't have to be on the water in those dangerous situations, it's best to avoid it at all costs.
Morse says if you see someone in a dangerous situation in the water, there are a few things to keep in mind. Reach, throw, or row.
We're always going to try to reach the victim or throw a rope. Don't put yourself in the same position as the victim, as the rescuer, or a bystander.
Morse says reaching for the victim with a long stick or an oar, throwing a flotation device their way, or rowing a canoe or kayak out to someone struggling is standard procedure that first responders follow, and bystanders should too. Most importantly, if you see someone struggling in the water, contact emergency personnel as soon as you can. In Janesville, Grace Alch, 27 News.